unaware psychic. See, you're always a psychic, you're always a medium. We all are. But you're mostly unaware. There are 3 levels of being a psychic or a medium. And I'm tired of hearing this line. Like,
There is an interesting theory that Dolores also talks about there being 5 exit points in a soul's life. They can choose to take whichever exit.
if you don't take the first exit, second exit gets harder. Third gets even harder. Fourth gets terrible. By fifth exit, the family is praying to God कि इनको ले जाइए भगवान.
We have been waiting to film today's episode for a really long time because today we are diving into something that we have never done before.
Today we have with us a psychic medium, a cartomancer, a TEDx speaker, and a journalist, Prasiddhi Mishra from Prasiddhi Predicts.
Let's dive into the episode.
Hello and welcome back to Sood Sisters. I'm Nanki and I'm Nemut, and together we are the Sood Sisters. Today we have with us Prasiddhi from Prasiddhi Predicts, and you guys are in for a ride. This conversation is going to be amazing.
If you guys could come and check the energy of the studio, it is so high. As usual, we have goosebumps all over. I wish you guys could just come and see how the energy of this room is so high. Welcome to the show, Prasiddhi. We are so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Sood Sisters and Soothsayers. There's something similar there. I'm a soothsayer, I always say. So yeah, and I don't know if the energy is high, but I hope we are not high. I mean, are we sober? Are we sober? Because Sundays are not for sober people.
Coffee is right here, so she's high on caffeine.
That's good. That's good. So let's start. I'm so glad to meet you all. And I'm so happy actually to hear about your journeys. And मुझे तो ऐसे लग रहा है कि what more can I add to your this prolific knowledge that both of you already keep with spirituality. So I have a very humble thing to say to you guys, because I always feel that the moment we start thinking that we are oh so spiritually high and that we are at we vibrate high and I to vibrate high, my energy is like that, and I don't invite these people and those people. It just, that's the point where you disconnect from your guides, because I think to be receptive is to be a soothsayer.
Oh, goes on the mug. This needs to go on the mug. So, Prasiddhi, we couldn't agree more. Like, hamara motto hai that to live as humanly as possible. Like, I think that's the most spiritual thing you can do, to be as human as possible.
See, we are souls on a journey. We don't have souls. We are souls. We must have heard that before. तो अब तुम लोगों के साथ मुझे ये लगता है कि ऐसी कौन सी नई बात मैं कहूँ जो तुम लोगों ने नहीं सुनी हो. Probably I think it will come from my practical experience of being somebody who is very approachable in her field of work. And contrary to popular belief, I actually love to sort of ground myself, as much as I can, because then I really feel that, I'm like on a hot air balloon all the time. Ek to I live on the top floor of a very high-rise building. So वैसे ही मैं हवा में हूँ. It's very hard for me to mentally भी हवा में हूँ, physically भी बहुत ऊपर हूँ. तो I sense that all the time in my life that, when I was an unaware psychic, see, you're always a psychic, you're always a medium, we all are. But you're mostly unaware. There are 3 levels of being a psychic or a medium. One is that you just get overwhelmed by the energies of people at school as a kid or college and early life. Family members who irritate us, or it could be neighbors who brush us the wrong way because our energy is just open and we just take in. But we don't know how to manage those energies that come. That is the unaware psychic. And then you have somebody who has read a few books, who's done a little research on chakra, hamare sharir ke chakra, and we've heard all those big words, and we have heard about healing modalities and maybe taken a few tarot readings here and there. And then you come to the mastery level where you actually embody that and you accept that this is a thing that is natural to me, that is who I really am. And the most basic thing that I realized about being the most effective medium and a psychic in a professional sense is that the first thought that came, that things that flow naturally, ideas that come, जिनको हम बहुत 100% डिस्काउंट कर देते थे कि अरे ये तो ऐसे ही है, ये तो सबको पता है, ये तो सब सोचते हैं, ये तो सब कह रहे हैं. Or you know, in fact, the more you try to fit into the molds of other people, the more you lose your self essence. I think the more you come back to yourself and ground, you become a better reader and a better.
Black sheeps of the family guilty as charged.
Yeah, and you know, मुझे लगता है कि ये काम करना एक तो हमारी खुद की चॉइस से तो हम कभी करते ही नहीं है, बिकॉज I always say that my journey is from Akashvani to Bhavishwani. So I was so busy being an RJ. I was busy. My journey is very interesting.
We would love to know that. We love to know your journey. And Prasiddhi, we were just coming to that. Can you walk us through this media to medium shift? How did life bring you here?
On a radio station. Very interesting, right? And it's in the air. And I mean, I thought that I just love to talk. और मैं तो बातें करती रहती हूँ और मैं बहुत बातूनी हूँ. And I was often punished for talking in the school, that you're a talkative child, get out of the class. So I was an outstanding student because I'm standing outside the class for talking. And that continued. And very often, even as a kid, I would say things that would happen. Okay. And I thought everybody is like me. Now, these things have grown over a period of time. Finally, I was born to parents who were with All India Radio. So being on radio, doing shows on radio as a child anchor, child artist was my forte. I always wanted to be a news anchor. I'm a journalist by training. I went to media mass communication school. I did my master's in English literature. So it was all about expression, talking, writing, and sharing my view of the world with everybody else. And those times when I was growing up, we didn't have social media and we didn't have smartphones. Makes me sound very old, but I'm not. Trust me, I'm one of your standard issue millennial. I'm your standard issue.
Yeah, the exactly landline people, जो वो number घुमा घुमा के phone उठाते थे. So we understood, couldn't connect more.
मेरे आशिक मुझे स्टॉप नहीं करते थे, वो मुझे क्लैंक कॉल
हाँ, हमारे भी.
And the only media that was available was radio for me, too, especially because radio was life. It was oxygen, it was food, it was water for me. I grew up in the studios of AIR. My father being a radio journalist and a news reader. और अब आप आनंद खरे से समाचार सुनिए. So, in those days, you must have heard that sound, that how radio anchors would come and give you the news in a very, very mellow, very calm, heavy baritone voice. Very, very, elegant how these people used to talk in those days, those Doordarshan and radio anchors. So I grew up in elegant communication, and I thought that this is what I would do since I love to talk so much. Cut to the second part of my life when I'm in my early 20s, actually being an RJ on radio in Mumbai. I started my journey with Fever FM, then I moved to Mirchi, then I moved to Red FM, and then there was a new radio station that got launched in Mumbai, which was 104.8, Meow 104.8. It was a just for women radio station. Can you believe it? They had a channel in Delhi as well, and maybe one more channel in Bengaluru, another frequency probably in these cities, but it was MEOW, meow. Thodi meaty, thodi catty, and something like that. And very interestingly, there was Koyal Puri's father who owned that channel, Mr. Arun Puri, the India Today group. They had launched it. And Koyal Puri is an actress. We know of her. She had done some amazing alternate cinema, and she had brought a friend of hers to be a tarot reader on our channel. Okay. And now this woman was quite well known. She had columns in newspapers and blah, blah, blah. I'm a young RJ, very interested in reading cards. I had a deck, but I didn't know how to read it at that time. But I was a spontaneous prediction machine. Like I was a soothsayer, as I said. मैं बोलती थी और चीजें होती थी. This was my third job. And so this RJ would go on air and give tarot readings. She would shuffle cards on her radio console. And suppose you came in as a listener and you ask about your love life, and she would shuffle cards and take out 3 cards and give you a read without seeing you, just listening to you. And she used to zone out. So she used to like go in the, that high energy thing that you guys are referring. Because she would zone out. She would forget to turn on the fader. She would forget to play the talk bit from the computer, the tech glitches that we, now I don't know if if tech glitches happen because of psychics or because psychics are not good with tech. I don't know. It could have be either way around.
It happens because of the psychics.
So she used to forget that usko ad bajana hai, because there's a time for commercial to be played at 12:30 exactly. She used to forget usko ad bajana hai. She used to forget ki usko talk bit ad karni, otherwise the song would go on air. So there's a lot of technical training that is needed to be an RJ. You have a large console in front of you. You've got CDs, you've got plugins from everywhere. You've got your, paraphernalia. You've got your gear. You've got two computers. You've got to add audio. You've got to mix ads. You've got to play signature tune. You name it. It's like a full thing. And with that, in her zoning out, her show was going nowhere. And so my boss, who was who was a programming head, she said, Prasiddhi, you come in early, you do your show, you're finished by 10 a.m. because I used to do the Good Morning Mumbai kind of thing. So they said, why don't you do us a favor? Just sit with her and just handle the tech part for her. Just fader on kar de, talk bit add kar de, ad chala de, so that madam can do her readings. Okay, now I'm sitting there like a mute spectator, very hard for me to do. As you can see, कि कोई मुझे चुप करके बिठा दे और बोले कि तुम कुछ नहीं कहोगी. और I'm used to talking,
We can understand.
with her. She's giving the reading, and I'm nodding like, no, this is not going to happen with Raju. Raju has called and he's asking about his girlfriend. I'm like, no, she's not coming back. No, 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 And so there were people who would call, there were people who would connect, and I would be like, writing down in my diary that this caller called and I don't see this happening for them. I would just make a list. And you have those channel fans, like they listen to the channel, they listen to all RJs, they listen to Fame interview, they listen to Tarot Reader, they listen to everything. So in the morning when I started going on air, after a month, we recognized these were regular listeners and they would come. And one day, one of these, there was a woman called Radhika, I still remember, and she called and she said that, hey, Prasiddhi, I'm going through a hard time. I said, oh, by the way, Radhika, that day on Manisha's show, she told you that it's going to be a very hard year for you. I think it's the opposite. I think it's going to lead you to a completely new spiritual beginning. I think you should read these books. And I think that a walking meditation would work wonders for you. And I feel that there's an issue with your kidney. Can you please get yourself checked? Because, and I'm just giving her stuff. Like it's just off my head. And she notes it down and she gets it checked and things come true. And then, more listeners are joining. And I tell this guy, your girlfriend, she's cheating on you. She's not, please. So I'm telling things, and this is against what the tarot reader probably must have spoken or whatever. And, I don't know. I don't want to say that she was wrong or I was right, but this was just happening. And I was reading thin air. It was literally on air, thin air. And my boss heard and I got thrashed and said, Prasiddhi, this is not your job. Why don't you just do your show? And it was a Good Morning Mumbai show. Joke suna, लोगों को हंसा, मस्ती कर, कहाँ serious stuff बातें कर. क्यों बता रही है? मतलब this is let Manisha do the thing. Now this is one boss who tells me this is not your job. इसके पहले वाले job में भी when I was with a music company, I would tell artists who were walking into I was with Times Music. Before that, I was with Universal. Every time artists would walk into the office with their new minted album, we had who's who of the music industry. We had these famous people. And I remember I walk into a studio and I tell Daler ji, he was Daler Mendi, South, he was recording a song, Namo Namo. And I went in there and I was just 23 years old. And I walk in and I tell him, sir, ye gana flop ho jayega.
Imagine saying that to the layman.
Yeah, I had a very good rapport with him. I said, ये गाना flop हो जाएगा, इसको कितना लंबा बना रहे हो, इसको please cut कर दो. 3 minute 10 seconds का radio edit बनाना और Sony Music को देना. It will be a hit. And he's listening to me. The fun part was that he actually listens and he goes inside and he goes to the music arranger who was like the big shot music arranger in those days. And he says, Prasiddhi is saying इस गाने को काट दो, छोटा कर दो, तब करेंगे. So this arranger looks at me and said, who the hell is Prasiddhi? Who's this girl who just walks into our studio? Again, my boss gets to know and I get thrashed. Prasiddhi, this is not your job. So every job that I do, I am a journalist, I'm working with Dainik Bhaskar and then with Times Music. I tell things to people I interview. Again, my editor says, Prasiddhi, this is not your job. I was like, what the heck is my job? What is my job? मैं हर नौकरी से निकालती जा रही हूँ because I go tell people their future. And it's hilarious. And I made friends with the artists. I made friends with the artists because of the things that I told them coming true. They actually sought me out. And then Dalayachi said, Prasiddhi, तेरा birth chart day. I mean, give me your birth details. I want to check your birth chart with my astrologer. Like, how the heck are you coming up with all this? मुझे देखना है कि तेरा मतलब है क्या astrology में. And I'm like, Dalay Mendy's asking for my horoscope. So I gave him. And one of his closest astrologers, somebody he used to trust, called me up. And he said that this is your job.
हाँ, finally. यहाँ से मैं नहीं निकाली जाऊंगी.
I was told by many people as a child, when my mother would ask, for guidance, she was too much into all this. So my Nana ji's father, so my Par-Nana, was Gujarat Maharaj ke Raj Jyotish. So my mother came from a family of Jyotish Pandits, you can say. And so everybody used to say कि आपकी लड़की astrology कर सकती है, इसको सिखाइए. But, mummy, papa sending me to a convent school are definitely not encouraged in making, interested in making me an astrologer or a fortune teller or pandit ji. And my father was so not interested in any of this at all. So, he would turn it around. He said, क्या बकवास है, क्या मेरी बेटी पंडिताइन बनेगी, आप कुछ भी बोलते रहते हो. मैं तो इसे वकील बनाना चाहता हूँ, ये बातें कितनी अच्छी करती है, ये वकील बनेगी. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I got through law college actually, and even he wasn't wrong. But I said,
I absolutely agree with what you're saying. Synchronicities are crazy. Because I'm professionally a lawyer and मैं अपना सारा law career छोड़ के अब मैं spirituality podcast पे बैठी. See what I was going through my mind. It is so similar. Like she's a lawyer, I'm a cake artist. And none of this makes sense. What are we even doing here? But we are here.
and so when Dalit astrologist said, Beta, this is what you're supposed to do. And then I met other guides as well along the way. There have been some amazing people who guided me along. I had met some amazing astrologers like Jajit Upalji, who's no more, but he was quite famous on Zee TV. He used to do a show called Bole Tare. I often recommended him to my friends. He was amazing, and he would sit with my chart and smoke a cigarette in his style, and he would just look at it and say, "What are you doing? This is not your job." I'm tired of hearing this line. Like, what am I here to do? It's like, you be a fortune teller. I said, that's not a career. You know what I mean?
And where we are.
But apparently it is, because I'm dancing all the way to the bank. Touch wood.
Absolutely.
Sold out for a couple months, always in advance. And I've started teaching. I've started sharing this with people. I give readings like this. This is how I talk to people. This is where I sit. This is where I give readings. And people are, waiting to see some mystical, magical creature who would appear in a robe with a crystal ball in a darkly lit room with, speak nothing, I'm going to tell you. None of that nonsense. It's a fun session. I meet girls, boys, old people, young people. I sit with them. I joke around. And बातों बातों में मेरे गाइड्स क्या बुलवा देते हैं मुझसे, मुझे कुछ याद नहीं रहता. मैं क्या बता देती हूँ राजू को कि उसकी गर्लफ्रेंड आएगी या नहीं, या राहुल तुमसे शादी करेगा या नहीं. Yeah. And of course I trained. And then, with the third stage of being a psychic is you train. And I trained with the World Divination Association. I learned multiple modalities of divination. And my first tarot teacher was a theoretical physicist at Harvard. And I was like, oh, this is something scientists can do. And I have a very good friend of mine, Professor Siddharth Ramakrishnan, who wrote a book on the neuroscience of tarot, who was doing research on what happens inside our brain when we read cards or when we do any kind of divination practice. So there's a lot of work that I'm still doing. I want to bring the science into this out of, This is a science beyond science.
So, as opposed to the myths that all this is just mystical and there's no evidence, but actually science is backing it up, right?
Yes, it is. There's so many people who are working in this field. Uh, University of Virginia is specifically. Then Professor Bruce Grayson has done a lot of work. Ian Stevenson did a lot of work in this field as well. And I'm sure you guys have read the works of Michael Newton, Dolores Cannon, as you were telling me before we spoke. I trained as a clinical hypnotherapist. That was the first thing that I did. Dr. Sunny Satin of the California Hypnosis Institute, we lost him, I think, in 2006 or 7 at a workshop while he was teaching students. He was one of the pioneers, one of the best Indian teachers of hypnotherapy, clinical hypnotherapy. And QHHT was a completely different modality. Very few people teach that in India now, but I started and I learned this. And my friend, Dr. Rahul Datta, who is a very well-known psychiatrist and a teacher of hypnotherapy, these are the friends I made along the way. These are the people who held my hand, who took me through my own journeys. I did a lot of sadhana with my guru, my Shiv Yoga guru, Abdul Shivananji. And so I learned Shambhavi healing, Dhyan, sadhana. For 15 years, I've been into the practice of Advait Shri Vidya sadhana. So when you asked me what am I wearing, this is my Shri Chakra. And as a sadhak of Shri Vidya, this was a gift from my guru to all of us who were in that workshop. So I did a lot of Shiv Yoga healing. My mother does that too. I got a lot of support from family, from friends, from amazing people along the way who did show me the light and told me what is my job on planet Earth in this life. And I mean, you tell me यार, कैसे हम सोच सकते हैं कि हम बड़े होके लोगों को ऐसी बातें बताएंगे और हम ये काम करेंगे और ये कोई काम है जो किया जा सकता है. And coming from a father who's so left-brained and he's so logical, and so in the world he's a journalist, so for him it was like he could not have put me on this path for sure. He would amuse himself with my stories, but he's like nahi,
Like your journey is so amazing. Like it's pretty similar to our journeys. And we have it.
Been convent educated too, so we've also had that conditioning.
And like we come from a family of lawyers, so सारे logical mind वाले लोग हैं, तो वो obviously they support us but question us also कि यार ये क्या वकालत छोड़ के क्या कर रहे हैं, आप spiritual podcast चला रहे हैं.
हाँ, तो मेरे मजाक उड़ाए गए और तुम ले लेती वो कोर्स पूरा करती तो तुम्हारा अच्छा रहता, तुम अच्छी सा पैकेज, तुम्हें स्टार्टिंग पैकेज बहुत अच्छा मिलता, एनएलयू से निकल के एनएलयू छोड़ दिया था मैंने, तो यू कैन इमेजिन दैट गाली जो मुझे पड़ी होगी. एंड उसके बाद मेरी 2 कजिन्स लॉयर्स बन गए एनएलयू में जाके कि किसी को तो ये काम करना है इस घर में, तो हम ही लोग कर देते हैं. बट यू नो व्हाट, टुडे इट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. आई गॉट अ लॉट ऑफ लॉयर क्लाइंट्स फॉर सम रीजन. अ लॉट ऑफ लॉयर्स कम टू मी, a lot of doctors come to me. They somehow watch my podcast and they see that she's talking some science behind this stuff. And in my TEDx talk, I think it was interesting because in a TEDx, they don't let you talk about fortune telling and they have rules. And it's like, we want to invite you to speak, but can you please not speak about fortune telling? I said, guess what? There's a lot of science behind that I've been wanting to share. So allow me to speak on that. And I actually did that on a room full of 500 people, at least in that university where we were talking. I had a queue of 300 people, at that by the end of my speech, that we want to, learn from you. We don't want, I don't know about readings. Maybe we are not open to receiving, somebody telling us, but can you teach us this? So I've now started teaching, because of this, I started teaching people how to tap into that part of your brain, that the deep-seated caudate nucleus, which is inside your brain, the amygdala, the temporal lobe, how they get lit up when you give readings, and how your prefrontal cortex actually, the overthinking part of your brain, can be used to give you precognition and neuroforecasting as a real thing. And लोग कहते हैं कि आप overthinking करते हो, तो आप बाप रे, don't overthink. I always tell people, अगर आप overthinking करते हो तो आप बहुत अच्छे cartomancer बन सकते हो. You can read cards very well because आपका brain automatically prediction mode में है ही. because you're thinking so much, you're trying to reach an answer. तुम already step 1 कर चुके हो. अब step 2, 3, 4 के लिए अगर तुम्हारे हाथ में कोई tool है, if which you can, like a tangible tool in your hand, that will show you images or pictures and help you read it like a book or like a language. We are used to reading books. We are used to reading tangible things. Even on the phone, we are reading something holding in our hands. So reading cards and cartomancy is a very good tool for psychic development because it allows your prefrontal cortex to get engaged with an activity when you're shuffling, when you're tuning in, and when you're calling your guides. कुछ लोग ये करते हैं उसके बाद वो खो जाते हैं या सो जाते हैं ध्यान में जाके. So it's to keep you awake, and when you meditate and when you have a tool in your hands, you're able to actually, if you learn how to read cards, you can employ that overthinking brain into a predictive practice, because the brain is predictive by default. The brain is a predictive machine. You're walking on the street, you have to predict your next step. कहीं गड्ढा तो नहीं है, कहीं मैं लुढ़क तो नहीं जाऊंगी, कहीं मैं गिर तो नहीं जाऊंगी, कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि फुटपाथ खत्म हो गया and I fall flat. So we are always trying to see the path ahead. We're always trying to plan our moves. We know what terrain we are walking on. Is it a wet floor? Is it a dry, rocky terrain? So our brain is always balancing the body against the space-time, where we find ourselves. The brain is a prediction machine. Before we started doing this show, we have thought about what we will speak, what we will do. We are already predicting कि ये ऐसे करना है, ये ऐसे होगा, फिर इसका ये होगा. एक plan तो हम लोग definitely लेकर बैठते हैं for everything. Practically, आपका brain हमेशा predict करना चाहता है. And what I'm trying to do is give people a tool to actually do this.
Sorry for this momentary pause. If you've been with us so far, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel. This brings us so much motivation and to our team to keep on bringing such amazing conversations your way. And it's free. It's really interesting, Prasiddhi, how you've gotten brain and the predictions together, which really brings us to this question. Do you work with any of the clairs? Like how some people are clairaudient or clairsentient. How do you experience this when you're making predictions?
You know what? मेरी तो ये हालत थी कि मेरे पास सब कुछ टूल नहीं था, तब भी I was blurting things out, And we all have these clairs. It's basically your senses, the touch, the sight, the smell, the feeling that comes to you about anything. It's there within you. We all have one or the other extra developed clair as we speak. In my case, it's the clairsentience, the feeling part, and the claircognizance, to be honest. The idea just comes, kahan se aata hai, pata nahi chalta hai. It's like a Bluetooth transfer from the heavens. It just comes. And with the vision part, I don't, now it's happening off late because I've been giving back-to-back readings in the past 5-6 years. To the right side of me, I will see if there's a visitation by somebody's loved one. So then I'll get an image of them to the right side of me. I'll see a face, I'll see how they looked and what they are trying to give as a message. That has recently unlocked. It's like the next level of the game that just suddenly got unlocked for me. That but pehle it was all about what's happening here. Like it used to hit me in the heart. I would cry. I would really cry very easily. I'm a sponge. I would pick up images, feelings, thoughts. Feelings very strongly. I was big on feelings. और मुझे सब हमेशा बहुत ही ज़्यादा allegation वाले टोन में कहते थे, तुम बड़ी sensitive हो. इतना sensitive क्या होना है, ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही था मेरे साथ. It is too much, to be honest. But I think that, that's what I was telling you now. Coming back to myself in the most grounded way possible made me realize that I didn't need to do anything to become this. And I didn't need to activate any chakra or any clair to become this. It was already switched on. My settings were on already. And I just didn't know that this is a legit thing. I thought कि ये सबके साथ ऐसे होता है. I'm just a crybaby. Or I am too sensitive. Or मुझे कुछ ज़्यादा ही लोगों की बातें बुरी लग जाती हैं. Look at the tone with which she spoke to me.
I agree so much with this. I am a Cancerian and I've always blamed it on my chart. That it's because of that, but I think that's me. I finally accepted it. It's okay that to feel so deeply.
Yes, and you should, because your sensitivity is a gift. And तुम्हें कुछ बनने की जरूरत नहीं है, तुम्हें ना बनने की जरूरत है, तुम्हें तुम रहने की जरूरत है. And I think that will be your. And I always tell, like, I was speaking to a friend of mine, and she said कि मुझे तो कुछ नहीं दिखता किसी का future आए, तो don't feel anything. I said, it's okay. You don't see the future, but aren't you extremely artistic? She's a very well-known content creator. She's very well-known, really well-known. And so she writes these amazing, funny scripts, and she channels that creativity when she's writing. And that's how she made, not picking her name, but that's how she made Shitty Ideas trending and everything else that she did. And I'm talking about Chavi. So much creativity she has. And she's like, मुझे तो नहीं दिखता. मैंने कहा दिखने की जरूरत नहीं बहन, जे तुमने क्रिएट कर रखा है, इतना अच्छा कंटेंट बनाते हो, लोगों को हंसाते हो, तुम्हारा गिफ्ट जो है वहां पर है, तुम्हारा क्लेयर जो है वो क्रिएटिविटी से जुड़ा हुआ है. सो दैट्स हाउ यू फ्लो. You come up with ideas just like sitting, like ऐसे ideas आते हैं उसको, and ऐसे वो जल्दी से स्क्रिप्ट लिख लेती है और ऐसे वो शूट कर लेती है, and you get a billion views on that. It's no joke. That creativity that's flowing from her, as I said, you have a very active, you know, what do we call this chakra? The Swadhisthana chakra? Yeah, very active. The orange, I said, see a lot of orange around you, a lot of creative energy.
So many big musicians, they channel music. Unko sare lyrics, they channel and they make such great music. Like,
एक बात बताऊं, I recently saw this Michael Jackson movie, the latest Michael Jackson movie. And there's a scene in which where MJ is lying on a floaty on the pool in his house. He's made it big already, and he's already had a few hits. Thriller has released. And he's floating there, and he's just looking up and just humming something. And his brother asks him, "What are you doing, Mike?" And he says, "I'm channeling." That's actually in the movie. He says, I'm channeling all the amazing music and I'm writing it down. Otherwise, Prince will catch these messages, because Prince was his competitor. And he's like, if I don't record these tunes and if I don't make this music, Prince will catch them. Because it's like, like music is in the air and I need to catch it and I need to create it and I need to bring it to the audience. नहीं तो ये वाली जो धुन है या ये वाला जो सॉन्ग है वो किसी और आर्टिस्ट के दिमाग में चला जाएगा. And he just says it in 1 second that I'm channeling. And I was like, and Michael Jackson must have said that, because what a beautiful creative channel. So I believe that clairsentience, clairvoyance, claircognizance is active in everybody, but in a different way. For some people, it is while they start teaching, and then they teach whatever they are teaching. A lot of teachers are very, very, clairaudient, because especially good teachers, when they're teaching you whatever subject it might be.
that brings me to a very interesting question, Prasiddhi, that you are a cartomancer. Like, who exactly is a cartomancer? And आपने ये medium क्यों choose किया to express your psychic abilities?
Because they found me. या तो ये बोल देना चाहिए. Cartomancer is somebody who reads cards. Okay? It's simple as that. And earlier on, we just had the humble tarot deck, the good old Rider-Waite-Smith. That was the only deck available. But when I was studying tarot, and I was 10 years old when I was studying tarot, I picked up a book from a library which had the Marseille images in it. The Marseille deck actually does not have images in it. And मैंने कहा ना, एस्ट्रोलॉजी सीखने का सिखाने का तो मेरे पापा का कोई उद्देश्य था ही नहीं लाइफ में. Otherwise, a lot of astrologers were like, please learn astrology, So, but that didn't happen, because he's like, no, please study something else. Please focus on mathematics and science. So that didn't happen. But when I reached college and I walk into this Oxford bookstore right next to my college, and I walk into that metaphysical, they used to have that part of the bookstore, I go there and I see tarot decks for the first time. In my city, I grew up in Bhopal. I found all books, but never a tarot deck. And tab Amazon kuch nahi tha. मैंने कहा, I'm really prehistoric right now. And I walk in and I see the tarot deck and I jump on it. I actually jumped and उठा लिया. तो एक deck पड़ा हुआ था बस उनके store पे. And I said, ये जो मेरे हाथ लग रहा है, मैं पापते भूत की लंगोट जो मेरे हाथ में लगेगी मैं उठाऊंगी. And I picked it up. और घर जाके देखती हूँ तो it turns out to be a Marseille deck. And it doesn't have images like the Rider-Waite-Smith had. It had no pictures. It was just like a simple playing card deck. I don't know if there's one lying around here with me, but you know what is my favorite system of cartomancy? Because this is how exactly the Marseille deck looks. In fact, I will get a Marseille deck and show you guys, but this is what it was like. Tash. ताश ही था वो. उसमें 10 कॉइन्स बने हुए थे, लाइक 10 डायमंड्स थे. उसमें ताश के इंसेट्स बने हुए थे. तो उसमें जैसे कि कैन यू सी द लेनमन डेक दैट आई रीड, यू विल स्टिल सी ताश हियर.
Wow. Technically, can you read Tash also?
I do. I teach people how to read tash. And I'm doing classes. I'm teaching. And can you see my deck? I've written meanings on this for my students. So I'm teaching people how to read the good old tash. तो अभी रम्मी खेलना छोड़ो, एक डेक खरीदो बाइसिकल का अच्छा नया वाला. One of the best card stocks. And
पर इस दिवाली पे 3 पत्ती नहीं खेलेंगे, इस बारे हम ये सीखेंगे. Do you have a quick tip to share how to actually read Tash?
आपकी दिवाली पार्टी पे तुम लोग ना ये सीख के सबको रीडिंग देना, जितने लोगों को सबसे पैसे कमाना, सबको चार्ज करना. 1000 रुपया तुम्हारे एक क्वेश्चन का. तो दिवाली पे जो रम्मी खेल के खो जाते हैं, पैसे वेस्ट हो जाते हैं, यू माइट एज वेल मेक सम. हाँ, you'll earn. And you sit with Tash and people will be blown away. They'll be like, ये तू कर क्या रही है?
It's an amazing tip. Thank you very much. ये हम करने वाले हैं. No, but actually, do you have a real tip? How do you read the Tash? Like a quick tip without reading.
Teaching. I've teach.
In follow. We'll definitely sign up for that course before Diwali. Count us in. Those students आपके यहाँ बैठे हैं जो अब से ताश सीखने आ रहे हैं. Not 3 पत्ती, but how to read it.
Cartomancy is primarily mostly referred to Tash. Okay, but it's not just Tash. It's reading any system. Lenormand deck. This is the Bluebird Lenormand deck. This is also, you can see there's a lot of Tash happening, but we don't read this now. We read the symbol in the Lenormand deck. We read this sim. This is the sun card. We are not looking at the ace diamonds. We are looking at the sun. So this is a system. This is called a PK deck. A PIQUET. It's the French term. A PK deck is a cut deck. Like instead of 54 in this, we've got 36 only. Okay. So we only read 36 cards here. We do not read all 54. What I'm teaching right now is all 54. This is like the minor arcanum of the tarot deck because the major 22 cards are not in this. The major 22 cards you will find in the tarot deck. So the tarot deck is divided in 2 parts, major and minor arcana. You guys must already be knowing that now. So this is the minor arcana. You can think of it like this. The majors are missing. In France, when they read Marseille traditional Marseille decks, they only read the major cards and they don't read the minors. They keep the minors for gameplay. But in 14th century, John Baptiste Alliot, or Jean-Baptiste Alliot, as you would say, he made the Petit Itea. Itea is the opposite of Alliot. So he came up with an Itea deck, which is his own deck. He came up with his own tarot deck as well. And he made a system of cartomancy, which is the most popular now. It's called the European cartomancy, the French cartomancy, as they say. And I will also make a course for Itea cards. Itea cards, again, it's a PK deck of 32 cards. So you've got 32 cards, 36 cards, 54 cards, or a whole deck of 78 cards, which is a tarot deck. There are multiple systems of cartomancy that are in the world. Lenormand deck itself has a Brazilian tradition, has a French tradition, and a German system as well. I read the proper methodical Bavarian method of distance with which I read this deck for my clients.
So do you read the full deck at once or do you just pick up cards like how tarot me would?
All 36 cards on the table. All 36 cards, the whole deck on the table. So if I'm reading for you, the lady would represent you. And the cards that surround the lady will speak very strongly about her life, in the coming time, or if you're looking at the present, then it's present. The gentleman could then be any important man in your life. Doesn't have to be your marital partner. It can be, but mostly it is the partner, because that's what it was intended to be. But if you don't have a partner, very interestingly, the cards will show that you don't have a partner. And this card would go sit far away, or it would go sit with difficult cards to show that there has been a breakup or there has been a loss. Whatever it is, the cards will show you. It's interesting that even if you don't tell me much about your personal life, but if I shuffle the cards and if I ask them, they will spill the tea. They'll spill the tea about your life. It's a beautiful deck. And here we have only one man and one woman. Of course, you know the playing cards. We've got 4 men, 4 women, and 4 jacks. So we've got a lot of characters in this deck as well. So I'm teaching people how to read Tash. And this is cartomancy. There is also a card of destiny system, which is a different system with cartomancy. That is intertwined with astrology. That is another method of reading cards. Then there are Sibylla cards, and Sibylla cards are also an Italian deck of 52 playing cards without 2 jokers. It's a very funny deck. I read that too. It's funny because when you don't ask much, those cards speak a lot. They tell you a lot of information without asking. It's a very chatty deck. It's a very talkative deck.
I have a question here, Prasiddhi. So, when you say you are reading these cards, are you actually seeing a future that is fixed, or are you reading something based on where someone is today? Is it a future that you see?
एक बात बताऊं? I think in my experience, now that after 20 years of reading cards, what I realized is I get to see the life blueprint and the soul contracts they came with. I get to see the blueprint. I get to see the scroll.
That was actually my next question, and thanks, you already psychically answered that.
Wow.
I get to see कि इनका अच्छा हाँ Marseille. Wait, I have it lying here. Okay, so I did have a Marseille deck lying around with on my table. See, that's what I told you. Very few people will show you this kind of a deck. So this is a playing Marseille deck. Can you see the playing card thingy?
Yeah.
All of these.
Wow.
This is a playing Marseille deck by Ryan Edward, sorry. And now you can see there are minor arcana, which is like Tash. And this is a major arcana, like the tower card of the tarot deck. This is the Marseille Tower. And I'll show you, like this is the High Priestess, which is a Marseille High Priestess, which is different from Rider-Waite-Smith's. This is the Sun. Okay, we've got the Lovers here, okay? So this is a Marseille style playing card deck, which incorporates tarot and playing card cartomancy both. So there are a lot of hybrid decks in the market. This is a hybrid deck. अब ये तुम्हें लगेगा कि this looks like a 9 of spades. This is a 9 of spades. And इसमें हम Rider-Waite-Smith के meanings use नहीं करते, which is the most popular tarot deck. इसमें हम playing cards meanings use करते हैं. और इसको हम playing cards meaning से पढ़ते हैं. And it is an amalgamation of major arcana and minor arcana. I told you now the playing cards don't have major. So Ryan Edward got thinking, and he actually merged the two, and he made us a special deck, which is the playing Marseille deck. And it uses the Marseille French cartomancy system of reading cards. And so this is one deck. I have 250 decks in the other room.
Wow. A library of decks. This is so interesting, Prasiddhi. I think we can go on and on about the cards, but I can't help notice. You said that you can read the soul's blueprint through the cards. So यार एक हम सबका question है, हम यहाँ क्या कर रहे हैं? What are we doing on earth? Like, why are we even here?
इतना बड़ा सवाल मुझ नाचीज से आपने पूछ लिया. मैं आपको बस यही कहूंगी कि हम this is Earth School. We are in school. And the class is in session. And धीरे धीरे करके हम कोई क्लास 1 में पढ़ रहा है, कोई क्लास 12th में आ चुका है, कोई हायर स्टडीज़ के लिए अंडरग्रेड के लिए जा रहा है, कोई बहुत बड़ा गुरु बन चुका है तो मास्टर लेवल का स्टूडेंट बन चुका है, कुछ लोगों की पीएचडी हो चुकी है. तो ये वही है. जीवन एक श्रृंखला की तरह चलता है और एक एक लाइफ में क्या सीखेंगे? When people say we don't believe in reincarnation, I'm like, can you look at the glaring scientific evidence that we now have, and the study that so many scientists have put. Specifically, there's an institute in London where they've worked so hard to collect evidences from near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, and so much. And I have a whole list of books and authors and institutes, which I will give you guys, which you can share with our viewers, so that they can actually locate these and go and find out more about this. And a lot of people are trying to answer this question. Some people are trying to answer this scientifically. I'm trying to answer this psychically, and how I saw in my visions, in my meditations, in my spiritual sadhana, in my practice of Sri Vidya. And you can't do Sri Vidya before you do a whole lot of work with Shambhavi energy, and your third eye needs to be open to be able to actually channel and do sadhana of Devi Lalita Tripura Sundari. Before you do that, you have so much prep work that goes before. And in those spaces with my guru and what I learned with my teachers and the amazing people who have held my hand in life, I have seen that I've had 869 lives apparently. So I'm a bloody old soul.
Question: do you think like souls have age? Doesn't like is not the soul timeless?
I mean, age is just our way of it's our way of saying that I'm an old soul. मैं तो अभी जवान हूँ, मुझे तो लगता है मैं अभी और बहुत जवान रहने वाली हूँ.
की बात तो हम ऐसे कभी आगे बढ़े नहीं, पर yeah, mentally I'm still 19.
I know I'm still running on 16 and nothing has changed. And I am a very non-judgmental, naughty reader, and I love giving love readings to people, and I tell them all kinds of juicy things. So मैं definitely बुढ़ापे से बहुत दूर हूँ. And people are like, प्रसिद्धि मतलब लॉयल्टी भी कोई चीज होती है. कल मेरी क्लाइंट कहती है, मैंने कहा हट तू तेरी लॉयल्टी. मैंने कहा मुझे तो कुछ और ही दिख.
मैं नहीं कह रही, मेरे कार्ड्स कह रहे हैं.
मैंने थोड़ी बोला, उन्होंने कहा, मैंने थोड़ी बोला. And I just put it on them. And I'm here to spread cheer and joy in people's life, even if they go through shit. And we all go through shit. And we are all the closest people who love us, who come in our life or who go away. And it's all planned. We all know कौन कितने दिन के लिए हमारे साथ रहने आया है. Like I used to tell my dad, this is a sad thing that I would tell him ki, I'm going to lose you one day very quickly, very fast. And so you need to take care of yourself. But this is something that comes mediumistically to you. And when my son was about to be born, I started seeing a little boy in every meditation that I would do. And I'm like, oh wow. So they also show you who's coming to you. कौन जा रहा है उसकी information मिलती है, कौन आ रहा है की भी information मिलती है. Mostly mediums talk about people who have passed away and connecting with them, who we have lost, and trying to find a way to, get a dialogue going. But जो आने वाले होते हैं, उनकी भी messages आते हैं, उनके बारे में भी हमें पता चलता है clairvoyantly. Abhi, it's a blanket term, ki clairvoyantly. Sometimes you see a vision, sometimes you hear something that drops into your head. It's like Akashvani that happens, personal broadcast system that happens just for you. And of course, the feelings. So, I mean, I have sensed, I have a very sad story to tell, which I actually don't want to tell because it will just bring down our energy in this session. You're having so much.
Let's hold this.
Actually, my mediumistic ability, as much as my father never wanted me to do any of this, opened because of him. Okay, so 1 year prior to before we lost him suddenly to a cardiac arrest, 1 year prior, when we were celebrating wedding anniversary, I was celebrating it for my parents. We had a great day, and then I cried. And then they were like, what is wrong with you?